All right, it says I'm live. I hope you guys can hear me. Give me a second here as I double check this stuff, because this stuff just has me just doing stuff. Okay, that's the premiere of that one. I know you guys are doing all the stuff that you guys can do. Just give me a second here. I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Can you guys hear me? Ooh, damn. Anyway, uh, if you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up. It's giving me the indication that my mic is working. But some of these programs, sometimes depending on the high definition mic that you spend a lot of money on, okay, great, it is working. These programs like reject it. But hey, I want to give you guys an update. Join me on the Demetra K Show or the podcast later on today. We are going to be interviewing Tamara Johnson. And for those of you guys that don't know Tamara Johnson, she ran for Senate against Ralph Warnock, actually kind of knows Ralph Warnock and what kind of a snake and, weasel this guy is and all this other stuff. And she's going to give us an update on the reparations situation. I believe she's in Washington, D.C. There, and they are doing a reparations conference and giving us an update there. So join us on that one. That's going to be on the podcast. So you might want to check the recast of it, because we're going to go ahead and record it. So we got stuff to do later on today. So as you guys know, Demetra and I, we have a podcast which is not interactive. Then we have our regular show, which is very, very interactive and stuff like that. But a lot of stuff going on out here in the world. It's overcast here in California, which I think helps in regards to fires and stuff. If you guys saw my premiere, it's going on right now, the DNC crash out. That is something that is going on. And I use the analogy of being a Dallas Cowboy fan. A lot of you Democrats, you guys are like Dallas Cowboy fans. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. And you've got the talent, you've got the messaging, you've got the history, all of these great things that the Democratic Party was supposed to be about, right? Oh, they're for the people and all this other stuff. That's not the case anymore. Being a Democrat is like being a Dallas Cowboy fan. You guys don't win. You don't win. You have all the pieces to win, but you don't. You don't deliver when you're supposed to deliver. Most of what Donald Trump is doing right now will be challenged in the courts by the Democratic Party. But see, here's the funny thing. Why isn't it that people are not seeing that every time a new party comes in and they do some things that are good, they want to reverse it to where nothing gets done? I hate to say this, you guys, because I know you guys are busy working and raising your families and doing the best that you can. But have you ever gone to Walmart or Target or someplace, and then there's a petitioner out there asking you to sign a petition because it's going to do this, it's going to do that, it's going to do this, right? And you guys say, oh, yeah, sure, I'll sign. You don't even know what you're signing, right? You could be signing away your car because you're not reading what's going on. And those petitioners that are asking you to sign what it is they want you to sign, they're getting paid maybe $5, $6 a signature. They don't even care. They probably don't even live in your neighborhood. This is what's happening in Black neighborhoods and in neighborhoods in general. I want you guys to understand how politics works. Because you do not attend city council meetings, they might have authorized a water park for your community or a boys and girls club for your community. But the developer or the powers that be don't want that. And so when you heard, or the last you heard, oh, we're going to get a water center. We're going to get this water center. It's going to be great. Oh, my God. Summertime for the kids. We'll get a boys and girls club. Oh, my God. It's going to be great for the kids. Then years go by. Years go by. And then you say, well, what happened to the water park? Remember that petitions you signed in front of Walmart, Target, Costco, wherever it is. Remember when you signed that? That petition overturned what the council approved. And remember when it was put on the ballot as ABA 1766? And then when you went in there and you just vote, Democrat, and you didn't even know. You don't even know what the amendment was. You just voted, okay, yeah, yes. And you helped overturn something that was already approved from city council. Then this is how it works. That's why I tell people you should never sign a petition, because everything you want to do in government, you can do that and be informed if you go to city council or supervisor council, county council, wherever it is, and be informed about what it is you're going to do. And that way you're in the know and you don't go in a perpetual circle of defeating yourself. And a lot of politicians, they do this stuff. Oh, I'm going to do this and whatever, right? That's the popular thing to do. Then behind the scenes, their donors and the people that control them put the slide in so that it gets reversed. But see, it doesn't look bad on the politician. The politician is, I'm for it. And then it gets reversed. And then he had nothing to do with it. He or she had nothing to do with it. That is how politics works. Politics is about money and power, nothing more. Do me a favor, you guys, hit that like and subscribe button, share on your platforms. This is what's going on in our politics. And it's so sad that we are not even realizing we're doing our own demise. We elect these people and we don't hold them accountable. And that's the problem. So Tamara Johnson, she's been involved in the political game for a very, very long time. She is fighting, and she's doing it from a spiritual, faith-based combativeness, which I think is great. I know politics and religion, it shouldn't be together, but some people it is. And some people are doing it in the betterment of us. Hey, Sunlight, how are you? How are you doing in sunny, beautiful Florida? God, I wish I was in the Dominican Republic right now. But anyway, Super Bowl's coming up. So my point is this: when I talk about, and a lot of people don't think about these things. When you sign those petitions, you are basically cutting your own throat within your community. You should not be signing those petitions if you don't attend city council meetings, because what it is it's reversing what the city has already approved through a ballot initiative. They're putting it on the ballot. And because they know the American people are very ignorant people, you don't even know what it is. They disguise it as something else, have you sign it. Then it goes on the ballot, it's disguised in legalese, and you vote against what was best for your community. There is nowhere in that petition. If you ever ask a petitioner, explain it to me, they can't even explain it to you. They'll give you general terms, but they can't explain it to you. Everything is hidden. And that's the sad thing about it. So that aqua park that the last you heard was going to be approved doesn't get approved because it was overturned in the last election cycle. These are the games politicians play. And I don't blame the politician. I blame the voter. I blame the voter for the simple fact of how do you live in a community and you don't know what's going on in that community? Right now, I live in a pretty much Hispanic town. Not many blacks here anymore. A third of the city is black, but we don't have any power. Politically, we don't have any power. Do you know how many soccer fields we have here in my city? I'll tell you, we have maybe 10 times as many soccer fields as we do basketball gymnasiums. I live in a town of 210,000 people. And that's the people that have homes and that we know we can register. We're not even talking about the undocumented people that live here. Second biggest city in Riverside County. We have one gymnasium. We have one miniature library. This is what goes on, you guys, because we're not being involved. We let the white man solve all our problems. And if it ain't the white man solving our problem, it's the white man Mexican or Hispanic that is solving our problems. And they're not solving our problems at all. They're codifying and taking care of their people. And then we look in the Black areas of a city and it's run down, trash everywhere. The streets are jacked up. It's unbelievable. But a lot of people think you have to be an elected official to get anything done. No, you don't. You just have to go to city council like I do and put your foot on their necks and get it into the public record. Right now, as I am doing this live, I swear on my dog Benny, right now as I'm doing this live, I've got the county supervisors watching. I've got city staff watching. I've got developers watching. All the council people are in the know of what I'm doing here because they want to know what I'm saying and what I'm doing because I highlight what they are doing. Roaches do not like light. They don't. They don't like the light. I go to city council meeting new administrators and they be like, oh yeah, I heard about you. Oh, really? What'd you hear about me? Because a lot of it is not true. They go, yeah, whatever. But that's not the point. I'm not asking you guys to be like me. I'm asking you guys to be a good citizen and take your ass to city council at the local level. And if you can't go to city council, you got a smartphone, for Christ's sakes. You got a smartphone. When you're laying in bed doing nothing, having nothing to do, go to the city the city channel and watch the replays of the city council meeting, the planning commission meetings. Go watch those meetings. You got YouTube, for Christ's sakes. Everything is online. The agendas are put online. Do you guys want to know what's crazy to me? You have people that will tell me more about what's going on in Dalton and Thornton Township in Illinois than they can tell me what goes on in their own community. Because Black people, we love to be entertained. But then these are the same Black people that praise God and I march with Martin Luther King, right? You march with Martin Luther King and you're a civil rights activist and all that other stuff. And yet you are mad because they cut the seniors' budget. You're mad because they cut the school program in regards to whatever, or you're mad because they cut the homeless voucher program for whatever, or the food pantry of the city. Always reactive, not proactive. We're getting to a point in America where it's survival of the fittest. Now, we know as Black people, we are the fittest. So we are going to survive. But we have to start taking accountability for what we do. I keep telling you guys over and over again about this illegal immigration stuff. You are a damn fool as a Black person to put yourself out there and in the middle of that. Let the white man and the white Mexican or Hispanic deal with each other. And you guys know what I'm talking about when I say white Hispanic. You've got Hispanics that identify themselves as white. Let them handle that. Good example. How many of you guys know in Cuba, 80% of Cubans look like me? 80%. And they love Fidel Castro. Who are the Cubans that are always complaining about Fidel Castro and how their land was taken, all their property was taken by him, and how unfair it was? The white Cubans. In Latin America, racism is very, very prevalent. No different than what goes on in Asia. This is the world we live in, you guys, not the world it's supposed to be. It's great to dream. Oh my God, the world should be like this. It should, but it's not. That world doesn't exist yet. That world will not exist for another 500 years. And we're going to be long gone when that happens. If it happens at all. That's something you read in a comic book. And I'm a comic book guy too. You guys know I wear glasses, so I'm not trying to stereotype, but I was pretty much a nerd, you know, very intellectual. So reparations fight is still going on, and she's going to give us an update. So join us for that. That DNC thing, nobody wants that. Nobody wants what you saw at the DNC. These non-binary, nobody wants that. We want results. We don't care how and what you do in your sexual orientation. Nobody cares about that. You guys are a small minority of what is going on. Just like blacks are a small minority of the population. But notice our issues are not the forefront. It's no secret that I am not for female leadership. That's no secret. I'm an alpha male. I'm a faith-based man. So the way this system was set up based on my faith was it's man leadership. That's just how it is. I don't want to go up against God's system that he put on the earth. I don't have a problem with women being in leadership as long as they're not leading me. I don't have a problem with it. And nobody should have a problem with what I just said. You want to go lead and society says that you women could lead and do these things, you go right on ahead and do that, but you won't be leading me. Look at all the women leadership in the United States and look at what's going on, especially when you see Black women leadership. It's a mess. It's a total mess. And it's totally unfair. Joe Biden gave pardons to everybody that really didn't really need a pardon, but Marilyn Mosby didn't get a pardon. Letitia James didn't get a pardon. Kim Fox didn't get a pardon. Fannie Gorilla Grip Willis didn't get a pardon. I mean, I'm pointing these things out. I'm not saying women leadership is a bad thing. That isn't what I said. I'm saying a woman can't lead me. It's not going to happen. Do I submit under female authority? Like, let's say in my city, if my mayor is a female, sure, of course. Can't break the law. You know, I don't have to like it. Definitely not have to do that. So the fight goes on. And, you know, the funny thing is the Democratic Party will spend millions of dollars to fight what Donald Trump is. So my point is this. That's what's happening. We're having a circular situation to where we're not moving anywhere. We're going around in circles. We're chasing our tail. One president comes in, undoes everything the other president done, even if it was things that are good. We've got to wake up, you guys. We are not progressing. How many of you guys heard the Biden administration? It is estimated that this man gave Ukraine I think it's 700, I think, don't quote me, $781 billion in aid in the 4 years he was in office. And Ukraine is losing. $781 billion just given, our money, just given away. What could $781 billion could have done distributed to the states? But again, the Democrats were all for it. Oh, yeah, we got to help Ukraine. Oh my. That's their problem. We can't even help ourselves. $781 billion could have paid for 30,000 ICE officers to get these people up out of here. And let's talk about the immigration issue real quick. Like I said, I live in a mostly Hispanic city. I've got neighbors that are probably not legal citizens here. That's not my job to ask them all of that stuff. But here's the question. I was talking to a neighbor, and he was basically, saying, the situation. And it's funny when I talk to my neighbor, I have to talk to them, not ignorantly, but, because a lot of my neighbors know I am in the city. They know I get shit done. They're like, well, why is it that he gets stuff done when he asks for it and we have to go through this whole round? Because I'm involved in the city. The city does not want me to highlight them, period. Right? Doesn't mean I'm a shot caller. I just go and I keep on them. Right? As you guys know, like my thing with Assemblyman member Jackson doesn't want to meet with me, which denies me my First Amendment right to petition my government. So I might be having to sue him very, very soon. So I have to ask this guy, you've been in the country for 20 something years. Let's just say. I said, well, if you've been in the country that long illegally, that's what I said. If a person has been in the country that long illegally, my question is this: why didn't you get your papers in order and get your citizenship in order? You guys in the chat, tell me, is that a good question to ask? So now here it is 0 hour. It's 0 hour, and now all these Hispanics are in a panic. Is it fair to ask them, okay, Donald Trump has been running basically for 4 years after he got ousted in 2020, right? He's been running on the same platform. He's been saying the same thing for 4 years. Okay, fine. Let's say you haven't been paying attention to that. Now we get into the campaign season. He's out there and he's saying, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do, right? So the campaign, let's say it takes about 1.5 years. The official campaigns, everybody's paying attention. He's been saying these things. So you mean to tell me, as a Latin person who is here illegally in the United States, with 1.5 years to go, with the possibility of Donald Trump becoming president, you did not file the correct paperwork or even tried to file the paperwork to start your citizenship process? Put it in the chat and tell me if that's illogical thinking. Michelle says, we really do not know if a real war is going on. We have the real-time videos. All we see is a tank every once in a while blown up. I do not believe there is a real war going on. Michelle, thank you for that comment, because I'm going to tell you what. As an aviation person, you remember that Jet 370 that disappeared in Malaysia, the Malaysia 370? I have been taught as an aviation official, if there is no evidence of a crash, there's no crash. There's just no crash. I always tell people this. Remember 9/11 when the so-called airplane hit the Pentagon? There's one commonality in an aircraft crash, especially a commercial aircraft crash. You guys, what is that? What are you always going to find in an aircraft crash commercially? Let me just break it down. You're going to find airline seats. You're going to find luggage. You're going to find bodies, of course, and remnants of a plane, be it the engines, the tires, because some of those things are made of titanium, all this stuff, right? But those are the prominent things. MH370, you didn't find any of that. Because remember, float devices, you got, your seats are float devices and stuff like that. They didn't find any of that. So the Ukraine war, which you're saying, we're on the same wavelength right there. They are saying, some people are saying, it is a grift. There was no oversight of the money that was given to Ukraine. The man comes over here. I need money. I need money. $781 billion has been given to them. Just gone. Just our money just disappeared. But our food prices are going up. Housing prices are going up. Gas prices are going up. We're paying for all of this. And these politicians, and I got to speak on the Democratic Party, they just give money out. Look at Chicago. Look at here in LA. All this money on the migrants, nothing for the American people. Michelle also says, we have no real-time live footage from Ukraine that the way that the war is taking place. That is a very good question to ask. I think they take things for granted, and now there is a new sheriff in town. They should have gotten their shit together a long time ago. Right. That's what I'm saying. When does personal responsibility become a factor? I'm held accountable as a man for everything that I do. Everything. Please excuse me, ladies. If I slept with a woman and she accuses me of being the father or impregnating her, I have to show up to court and defend myself, even if it's a false allegation. Yeah, I hit it, but it ain't my baby, right? We have to be held accountable. And this is what I say, and if you guys watch the show, Dimitri and I, we always, get into it and stuff on the show. And I just hate when the women come on the show and men are always held accountable. Why? Because we live in a patriarchy. Men are held accountable. That is why when men get married to women, the women take the men's name. For the real men, We live in a patriarchy. The society is set up for the benefit of men, and to exercise that benefit of a patriarchy, we have to be responsible. Simple as that. Lady Diane Elizabeth, God, I love that name. Hey, Donovan, how are you, sweetheart? I am doing great. God bless you, Miss Elizabeth. And Michelle's like, yes, I remember that chat. Talk about it, Donovan. Lady Diana says, good afternoon, Michelle. The journalist jumped on the chance to run to Israel when things popped off with Gaza, but not one journalist went to Ukraine. Very great minds think alike. Great minds. That's Benny. I got to watch him because he kind of tears up stuff when I'm not looking. But he's getting better. Benny's getting better. I have to be patient with him. So back to this illegal immigration thing real quick. So I'm talking to my neighbor, and I'm like, you had all this time to file the proper paperwork. I'm not saying you're going to be a citizen, but the thing is, if your paperwork was already in process, you have that paperwork to show ICE or whoever, hey, I'm green carded, or I don't know the process, but whatever the thing is, I am in process of getting my stuff, so I'm good. I just don't understand it. These people have been here I know people that have been here for 20, 30 years. They don't even speak English. You could go back you will see videos of Barack Obama telling people who are immigrating to this country, you have to get to the back of the line. Remember that? How many of you guys remember that? Remember, he was like, you got to get to the back of the line. You have to pay a fine. You have to learn English and go through the process. That's what Obama, there's videos of him saying that. So you've had people that have come here illegally since then that haven't even done that. And now they want us to champion them being out there. If you're a Black person, and I'm going to say this to my sisters, my Black queens, I'm going to say this to you guys. You guys are the main ones that jump on bandwagons for other groups, and you won't even stand up for the kids in your damn neighborhood. Yes, I said it. I said it. Because it's the damn truth. But anyway, oh my God, I'm running late, you guys. I have to go. Johnson Sheely, Demetra K. God, I would love to get into this a little bit more, but check me out a little bit later. I am going to talk about this, but I want you guys to think about this. If you're a Black person, you have no business out there championing and fighting for these other people. Let the white Hispanic and the white man deal with their issues, because we got too many problems of our own. All right, you guys, I'm going to talk to you guys. Mañana, better learn Spanish, because it's going to be very, very important in the future.